The legend of El Chapo, Cartel chief cultivated Robin Hood image. Drag queen El Chapo Guzman eluded arrest for so long that the stories about him veered closer and closer to the stuff of legend. So powerful is he, people say, that he can bribe anyone. He commands so much loyalty. The story goes that he is always tipped off when the hit is close. He is so fearless that he can live his life without concern of being caught. Of course, now we know his influence has its limits. Guzman was arrested overnight in a hotel in the Pacific Beach town of Mazatlan in his home state of Sinaloa. He had been on the lam since escaping from prison in 2001, and no one that he knew of came close to catching the drug lord who regularly appears on Forbes magazine list of most powerful people. The rumor was that with that kind of money, he could be hiding anywhere in the world. In the end, he was caught just 140 miles from the city of Culiacan, the home base for his Sinaloa drug cartel. Mexican Marines, touted by Mexico as the least susceptible to corruption, and the U.S. Drug Enforcement Administration, who have a hand in nearly all major busts, carried out the joint operation. This latest chapter in the drug lord's life will likely end up immortalized in lyrics, such as the corridos or folk songs sung about him in Mexico, and the idolization crossed the border north. Consider the lyrics of rapper Gucci Mane's 2012 song. All I wanna be is El Chapo, fully automatic slice your auto. All I wanna be is El Chapo, $3 billion in pesos. All I wanna be is El Chapo, and when I meet him, I'ma tell him bravo. Guzman was born in Badiraguato, Sinaloa, at a time when the drug trade was evolving, and began his career in the drug trade working for powerful drug lord Miguel Angel Felix Gallardo, according to a biography by Time. He founded his own cartel in 1980 and quickly established outposts in a number of states, eventually inheriting some of his mentor's territory, according to Time. His drug empire became Mexico's most powerful, the Sinaloa cartel. It also was deadly, authorities said. He surrounded himself with an army of ruthless guards, enforcers, and reigned over a worldwide multi-billion-dollar drug empire that supplied much of the marijuana and cocaine peddled on the streets of U.S. cities. In U.S. indictments, the organization was accused of using assassins and hit squads to maintain control. In Mexico, the strength of his enterprise helped unleash an ongoing drug war that has left thousands of his countrymen dead. Guzman was arrested in Guatemala in 1993 and extradited to Mexico, where he was convicted to sentenced to a maximum security prison. One of the most often retold stories about him is how he escaped from the prison in a laundry cart in 2001. The carefully planned escape required bribes and cooperation that allegedly cost him 2.5 US million, according to McCombie's book Last Narco. He's a fascinating character. Beat told CNN in an interview last year. He's he's the epitome of the problem. He's a poor kid who had some family connections in the drug trade, no options, no real education, and becomes a big-time drug lord. Even during his time in prison, there was very little doubt that he lived like a king inside, Beith said. And although he dislikes the title World's Most Wanted Drug Lord, it is an accurate description of whom Guzman is, he said. There's tons of other drug lords around, but I think the Sinaloa cartel, given its growth, given its influence, and I think it puts him on the top, he said. Guzman's legend only grew while he was on the run from authorities. Stories of him helping the poor or taking everyone's cell phones at the restaurant while he ate and then footing everyone's bill for their inconvenience. I think probably a lot of them has some truth. Scott Stewart, vice president of analysis at Stratford, told CNN last year. He wants to try to foster that whole mystic. The mystic of him being some sort of Robin Hood character helped Guzman as he tried to evade arrest, he says. I think there's a false narrative that says El Chapo is kind of his benevolent businessman, Stewart said. In truth, Guzman is known for not hesitating to use force when he needs to, and for bribing officials who get in his way, he says. His capture will shed some light on just how loyal his followers were and how far his bribe money got him. His legend stands tall, but the next image Mexico will see of him likely will be standing between federal police officers handcuffed. El Chapo will be reduced to the man, not the myth. But on social media, however, many were betting that Guzman might escape again. Don't get so worked about the rest, on Twitter user wrote. He's going to escape again in court of dirty laundry. The second story is youthful Matteo Renzi sworn in as Italy's prime minister. Matteo Renzi was sworn in Saturday as Italy's youngest prime minister alongside its new cabinet of 16 ministers. It's a step many people will bring much needed political stability to the country. The former Florence mayor, who won control of the Democratic Party in a primary a couple of months ago, ousted fellow party member Enrico Letta in a body vote last week. Renzi, 39, is nicknamed Il Rotomator, or the Demolition Man, for his pugnacious style of politics. After the swearing-in ceremony at the presidential palace, he headed to the Italian Prime Minister's office, the Palazzo Chigi, to hold his first cabinet meeting. The lineup for Renzi's new government was published on his website Friday. Italy's new finance minister is Pier Carlo Pradon, currently Deputy Secretary General and Chief Economist of the Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development, OECD. Serving Interior Minister Galleon Alfano of the Novo Centro Destra Party keeps his job in the new government. Half of Renzi's ministers are women, and the largest proportion in Italian history. Most of the ministers are young by Italian standards, with an average age of 48. Renzi is expected to outline his new policies Monday in the Senate, where he will face a confidence vote. History of political turmoil. Then I held on to the top job in Italian politics for less than a year. He was sworn in last April at the head of coalition government formed after months of uncertainty following inconclusive elections. But he was forced out last week amid frustration over the slow pace of reform. Italy, the third largest economy in the Eurozone, he had more than its share of political turmoil over recent years. The last election to produce a leader was in 2008 when Silvio Berlusconi became prime minister for a third time. Since then, other countries' leaders have been appointed. Berlusconi, a billionaire tycoon who has dominated Italian politics for 2 decades, resigned in late 2011 after coming under pressure for Italy's economic woes. He was subsequently expelled from Parliament after his conviction for tax fraud and can no longer run for office. And the third story is 3 reasons why El Chapo arrest matters. The arrest of drug kingpin Joaquin El Chapo Guzman is a monumental moment in the world's war on drugs. That he was hiding in plain sight in a beach resort hotel in the Mexican Riviera town of Mazatlan is as dramatic a twist in the manhunt for Guzman as is the narrative behind his life and its control of international Sinaloa drug cartel. Here are 3 reasons why the arrest of Guzman, now being held by Mexican authorities and sought for extradition by U.S. authorities, matters so much. First, his legend. Chicago declared him and his use of the city as a drug-dealing hub as public enemy number 1, joining begone gangster Al Capone in that distinction. West Point's Combating Terrorism Center devoted a report to the international presence of Guzman and his drug trafficking. Perhaps most importantly, El Chapo is synonymous with narco culture and its lurid glorification. Guzman, 56, is the drug kingpin extraordinaire. El Chapo, which means shorty in Spanish, inspires American rap songs and a genre of Mexican ballads called narco corridos. All I Wanna Be is El Chapo. $3 billion in pesos is part of the chorus to a 2012 rap by Gucci Mane. Maybe the most potent message of El Chapo's arrest is how it undermines his most audacious myth that he could never be caught again, unfindable in Mexico's back country. Guzman had been caught once before by Mexican authorities in 2001, but he escaped from a high-security Mexican prison. Lore holds that he slipped out of the prison by hiding in a laundry basket. He kind of plays up to it. All these guys do. Scott Stewart, vice president as straightforward, a global intelligence firm, said about the El Chapo legends. It just kind of adds to the whole mythology, kind of like the old pop western books that used to write about these outlaws. Guzman had eluded authorities since the 2001 prison break because he cultivated an old-school mafia style of bribing officials at every level of government throughout Latin America, officials said. Second, one of the world's most wanted. Guzman's drug operation is believed to have penetrated not just all of the Americas, but Europe, Australia, and West Africa as well, according to the West Point report. The United States remains the most important demand market for Sinaloa Federation products, marijuana, cocaine, and methamphetamines. The European Union and Australia, however, have proven attractive due to the economics of the elasticity and the distance from the supply source, according to the report. But authorities have been mounting pressure on Guzman's Sinaloa cartel in recent months. His lieutenants have been killed or captured by Mexican authorities. Earlier police operation yielded a trove of intelligence, including cell phone and other data. A U.S. law enforcement official says that helped Mexican authorities and U.S. Drug Enforcement Administration agents hunting Guzman gain confidence in recent weeks that they could arrest him. Although it's a ridiculous phrase, the world's most wanted drug lord is accurate, said Malcolm Beth, author of The Last Narco, which is about Mexico's drug war. There's tons of other drug lords around, but I think the Sinaloa cartel, given its growth, given its influence, hemispheric and otherwise, I think that puts him on the top. Phil Jordan, who spent 3 decades with the DEA and headed the agency's El Paso Intelligence Center, also characterized Guzman in superlatives. When you arrest the most powerful man in Americas and in Mexico, if you talk to any cartel member, they'll say that he's more powerful than Mexican President Peña Nieto. Jordan said, this would be a significant blow to the overall operations, not only in Americas, but Chapo Guzman had expanded to Europe. He was all over the place. Even Forbes magazine puts Guzman among its world's most powerful people since 2009. Forbes estimated his fortune at more than $1 billion. 3. U.S. indictment. Guzman's arrest has re-energized Mexican and U.S. lawmen who spent years struggling his cartel and yet unable to capture him until now. The United States doesn't want to see Guzman escape again. That's why they are eager to see him extracted to the United States as soon as possible, where he is named in multiple federal drug indictments and has been on the DEA's most wanted list. It's a significant arrest, provided he gets extradited immediately to the United States, Jordan told CNN. If he does not get extradited, that he will be allowed to escape within a period of time. Added one U.S. official. Now comes the hot part. That official was referring to Guzman's extradition to the United States. The first story is after years on run, Sinaloa cartel chief El Chapo Guzman arrested. After eluding capture for more than a dozen years, the legendary boss of one of the world's most powerful and deadly drug trafficking operations was nabbed in a surprise raid on a seaside hotel condominium tower in a bustling Mexican beach resort. Authorities say Joe El Chapo Guzman, who infamously escaped in 2001 from a high-security prison in a laundry court, was arrested early Saturday in Mazatlan without a single shot being fired, authorities said. A U.S. law enforcement official told CNN that Guzman, accompanied by a female, was captured in a joint operation of Mexican Marines and U.S. Drug Enforcement Administration agents that was in the works for 4 or 5 weeks. The pressure on Guzman organization, the Sinaloa Cartel, had been mounting for months, with Mexican authorities killing or capturing several of its most brutal lieutenants, and a U.S. law enforcement official said. Those operations yielded information, including cell phone and other data, that helped Mexican authorities and U.S. drug enforcement agents track Guzman down. At a Mexico City news conference, Attorney General Jesus Murillo Caram said authorities came close to capturing Guzman, believed to be in his mid-50s, earlier this month. Guzman apparently moved around several Mazatlan homes connected by an elaborate network of tunnels, also linked to the city's sewage system. Mural Karam says the doors of the 7 homes were reinforced with steel, he said, which enabled Guzman to escape via the tunnels before Marines could break down the doors. On other occasions, authorities decided against attempting to apprehend Guzman in public places at the public beach resorts. Muriel Karam said forensic experts had 100% confirmation of Guzman's identity. Authorities also seized the weapons cache that included 97 large guns, 36 handguns, 2 grenade launchers, and a rocket launcher. Mexican government footage showed a handcuffed Guzman with a dark mustache being escorted by masked Marines in Mexico City. A U.S. Homeland Security official said key intelligence in the capture came from an immigration and customs enforcement investigation. Mexican President Enrique Pena Nieto via Twitter recognized the work of Mexican security forces in a historic arrest. Phil Jordan, who spent 3 decades with the DEA and headed the agency's El Paso Intelligence Center, said the arrest represents a huge blow to the Sinaloa Cartel. It is a significant arrest, provided it gets extradited immediately to the United States, Jordan told CNN. If he does not extract it, that he will be allowed to escape within a period of time. When you arrest the most powerful man in Americas and in Mexico, if you talk to any cartel member, they'll say that he's more powerful than Mexican President Pena Nieto. This would be a significant blow to the overall operations, not only in Americas, but Chapo Guzman had expanded to Europe. He was all over the place. He is, in fact, incarcerated until he got extradited to the United States. It would be business as usual. In Washington, U.S. Attorney General Eric Holder called the arrest a landmark achievement and a victory for the citizens of both Mexico and the United States. Guzman was one of the world's most wanted men and the late head of a drug-running empire that spans continents. Holder said in a statement, the criminal activity Guzman allegedly directly contributed to the death and destruction of millions of lives across the globe through drug addiction, violence, and corruption. A senior administration officials described the arrest as huge and said it was a Mexican-led operation, but one with very strong U.S. government support. This has been a long time coming and hopefully puts a rest to the nonsense that this Mexican government isn't focusing on security and the U.S. and Mexico aren't working well together. The official told CNN, "They are and we do." In Chicago, where the city's crime commission last year named Guzman its public enemy number one, a designation originally crafted for El Capone, authorities praised the arrest. Chicago is one of the major destinations of the Cartel's drug flow. The arrest of Chapo Guzman is significant. Police Superintendent Gary McCartney said in a statement, "This is a victory, but we know the tentacles of his cartel still exist, and much more work remains to be done. Demand for narcotics will still remain, so we will continue to partner with the DEA as they fight international drug trade, and we will remain focused on our efforts to eliminate the factors that drive violence in our city." From New York to Chicago, Texas to San Diego, Guzman and his lieutenants are named in indictments for marijuana, cocaine, and heroin trafficking, as well as racketeering, money laundering, kidnapping, and conspiracy to commit murder. In Mexico, the diminutive Guzman became a larger-than-life figure as he eluded authorities while expanding a drug empire that spanned the world. His life story became the topic of best-selling books and the subject of touring songs known as narco corridos. In the United States, he is wanted on multiple federal drug trafficking and organized crime charges. His nickname, which means shorty, measures his 5'6" frame. Guzman escaped from a high-security Mexican prison in 2001, reportedly hiding in a laundry basket. Throughout the years, he avoided being caught because of his enormous power to bribe corrupt local, state, and federal Mexican officials. When you arrest Chapo Guzman, you are arresting the leader of all the cartels, Jordan said. This guy had a hand in everything, and he owned every politician. Guzman is wanted on numerous drug trafficking and organized crime charges in Mexico and the United States, which had offered a $5 million reward for information leading to his arrest and had sought his extradition in the past. His drug enterprise stretches throughout North America and reaches as far away as Europe and Australia. The Sinaloa cartel has been blamed for his role in the bloody drug war that has plagued Mexico in recent years and left tens of thousands of people dead. Guzman was born in Bariraguato, Sinaloa, at the time when the drug trade was evolving, and began his career in the drug trade working for powerful drug lord Miguel Angel Felix Gallardo, according to a biography by Time. He founded his own cartel in 1980 and quickly established outposts in a number of states, eventually inheriting some of his mentor's territory, according to Time. Guzman arrest caught Jordan and other observers by surprise. There's no way that I would have bet that they would have ever arrested him under the administration, unless he double-crossed somebody or didn't make the full payments on bribes, Jordan said, citing Guzman's alleged ties to the ruling Institutional Revolutionary Party. Something went wrong. And the fifth story is gold for Russia, silver for South Korea's Yuna, and controversy ensues. In the final chapter of her storied Olympic figure skating career, South Korea's Yuna won silver, not able to defend her shot at gold against a Russian teenager who seemingly came out of nowhere to get the top prize. Instantly, there was controversy. Russia's Adelna Sotnikova finished with a total score of 224.59, beating Kim's score of 219.11 by 5.48 points at the free skate program. Sotnikova, 17, became the first female Russian skater to win in the category. Some pointed out that he had stepped out after landing triple combination, and others raised questions about the anonymous judging system. Dick Button, a men's figure skating two-time Olympic gold medalist, said he didn't think Sotnikova was the whole package. It didn't help that one of the judges had been suspended for a year, but trying to fix an event at Winter Olympics 16 years ago. Or that another is married to the head of Russian Figure Skating Federation. American figure skater Ashley Wagner also slammed the judging Thursday night. She skated without falling but finished 7th behind several skaters that had stumbled on the ice. She even finished behind Russian skater Julia Lipnitskaya, who fell more than once. I feel gypped, Wagner said. According to Yahoo Sports, people don't want to watch a sport where you see people fall down and somehow score above someone who goes clean. Critics have created a petition at change.org urging that the judging be investigated. Early Friday morning, the petition had more than 1.6 million supporters. Opinions varied on whether the right skater got the gold medal. Sotnikova's program had 7 triple jumps, which was one more than Kim's. The final judgment splits for journalists and figure skating experts. It's debatable but not a robbery, wrote Chris Chase of USA Today. Sotnikova skated well enough to win gold. She had a carefully constructed program with 7 triples, 5 of which were in a combo. Kim had 6 and 3, respectively. Thus, Sotnikova was going in with a higher total and made more margin for error, but which she took advantage of winning a minor top after one exchange. Sotnikova's technical score of 75.54 dwarfed Kim's technical score of 69.69. But others weren't convinced. Kurt Browning, a 4-time world champion, told the New York Times, "I just couldn't see how Yuna and Sotnikova were so close in the component. I was shocked. Suddenly she just became a better skater overnight. I don't know what happened. I'm still trying to figure it out." Italy's Carolina Kostner took the bronze. Kim was looking to be only the 3rd woman to defend her Olympic figure skating title, joining Katarina Witt, who took to the ice in Calgary 26 years ago, and Sonja Henie, who competed in the 1920s and 30s. In 2010, she took gold in Vancouver Olympics by a landslide, where she scored a record 228.56 points to win in women's figure skating. She eclipsed her closest rival by a massive 23.06 points. Known as Queen Yuna to her legions of fans, Kim's victory in Vancouver made her the first Korean figure skater to win a gold medal.